I hate that it doesn't show me the comments until we push the button to go live, y'all. So,
Or there's just
Steve,
no
I
one
have
here.
this thing that's been in my head here, right? I'm going to turn this into a theme song for us.
Oh, nice.
Because it kind of gives me like 90s Nickelodeon vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would be the montage scene from a Pete and Pete episode or something.
Yeah. Watch out. You're gonna get in on how is this? How are people finding this? I'm very confused.
How are people finding what? Hey y'all, how's it going? How's that for a cold start?
I am extremely confused.
Oh, about what?
Oh, no, I know why. Never mind. Uh okay. Well, that's great. It's good to know that
I needed to add myself left. Apparently, Steve, it was just you
oh
for
yeah,
the
I
stream.
thought I was trying to figure out why you did that.
I didn't mean to. We were experimenting with Steve's robotic share screen, and we got it to work.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing
Yeah,
where it's just dumb. It's very stupid.
that's the way things
Um
happen, right?
but I'm trying to oh, I need to get into studio. I'm trying to do a specific thing right now. That I'm going to post in the chat in a minute. Everybody
I Well, I'm going to be
just
saying hi to people while you're doing the thing.
yeah,
So scrolling back
say
through the
hi to some
comments
people.
here, Ian Johnston in for the first comment. Michael Kraus, Ace Cyprium. What's up? Fuzz Imp. What's up, Justice? We have searching for tone.
Hey Brian.
Amanda Coombs, welcome over. We're gonna
Hi
convince
Amanda.
Amanda to start moderating things at some point. Um,
I mean, she does have the wrench.
She does have the wrench on your side. I need to add her on my side too, and we'll
Oh,
double
okay.
that duty. Not that anyone chats over on the 40-watt side. It's fine. It's fine. Who else we got in the house? House figurative? Paranoid Goblinoid. There will be no Ryan's Clam Shack Deep Six Deluxe here, because that's at Ryan's house. Vinny's World, David Ross, and Rob F. What is up? I really like this little. I really like that little riff. We're gonna use it for something at some point. So, Steve, what are you doing, man?
Um, I was just dropping this link. I'm gonna post in the chat to the description down below.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna knock this out at the beginning, I guess.
Ooh.
Which is unfortunate because it means people who only watch the first 3 minutes of stream or whatever are gonna be able to get in on this action, which is a little, I don't know.
It's fine. It's
I
all fine.
buried it. I figure like there's only like 1,000, 1,500 people who watch this anyway. So
Yeah.
but I am giving away this
Oh, yeah.
1-ton bees pedal. And we're basically doing a hoop jump. And the thing I was really thrown off by is I went to go find the link for this, and there were already contestants because I forgot that I sent the link out to Patreon last night
Oh, gotcha.
in the early audio episode. So on the one hand, I was like super freaked out. How do I already have like 3 contestants? One of them was me. One of them was me as like a test. I only
Yeah.
have 3 entries. But like, there's a bunch of hoops to jump through. So again, this pedal, I'm looking into the wrong camera, which is cool. This pedal, the Mojo Hand Effects 1-ton B, it's a 60s style fuzz. I don't. Let me see what does Mojo Hand say about it. It's inspired by the legendary fuzz pioneers, the Ventures, and their '60s fuzz tones. We've tweaked the circuit and added our own mojo while staying true to the spirit of the highly revered original. In short, the one-ton bee will please any and all players looking for that gnarly, nasty fuzz of yore, yet need something a bit more musical. The bee is all sting and proud of it. The days of digging around online for quality vintage fuzz, along with spending an arm and a leg, are over. The one-ton bee brings vintage fuzz screaming into the now.
Hey, Steve.
Um,
This link tries to go to the contestants page, and it makes them want to log in to see the contestants.
oh, shoot.
Just a heads up. Hence the /contestants at the end of it.
Epic fail
It's okay.
on my part. Oh, it's been a morning. Thanks, Michael. There is the correct link. Let me go edit the link that I just posted to the video. How are you doing, Philip?
Man, I'm all right. I'm all right. You know, we're here. We're hanging out. We're doing some live streaming. I'm gonna have a giveaway soon, but I'm not ready to talk all about it yet until I get a few more things in hand.
This is the thing that we've talked about.
Yes, that thing. So I will talk about. I don't have it in here. But so yesterday, I don't know if I even talked about this on the live stream. I've been wanting to learn how to build amps.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ordered a kit from Weber last year, like in November. And they take a while to get. It's like 6 weeks to ship because they have to build the cabinet and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't have them include the capacitors, resistors, or the transformers because I wanted to source those myself. 2 reasons. I wanted better quality components. And 2, I really wanted to learn sourcing parts. Like, it's not a thing I'd done a whole lot of, right? So I wanted to...
Just so I'm on the same page, you're getting just... Because I'm looking at their kits.
Yeah.
Are you getting, like, the DIY kit? Where it's just the...
So the kit I bought was cabinet, speaker, chassis, tube sockets, potentiometers, jacks, fuse holder, pilot light, those kinds of things.
Okay, I see how it's laid out. So basically you're getting cab covered cloth handle. You're getting the control panel option, and then you went because there's an a la carte section.
Yeah, and I told them no transformers, no capacitors, no resistors.
Yeah, so no transformers, no cap, no tubes, or you get tubes.
Oh yeah, tubes came with it. So I actually built it when we came back from NAMM, right? I took the weekend after NAMM and I built it, and it did not work.
Oh.
So here's the thing, and I'm just going to be real about it. The Weber kit didn't come with any instructions. So there were no instructions for me. So I'm like building based off other companies' instructions and diagrams and reading websites. So it didn't work. So what I ended up doing was I was like, okay, but I did learn a lot doing that by trying to do it that way. So I rebought caps and resistors because when you put them in the board, you have to clip the legs after you've mounted them.
Yeah.
And the idea of trying to mount 2 and 3 and 4 components in a slot with short legs, I wasn't going to do it. So
which kit did you order?
The 5E3 Tweed Deluxe.
5E.
So I ended up getting new parts, and I was like, I'll work on this later. But I got a wild hair yesterday, and I put it together, and it works. I built an amp. Now, having put it back together, if I were going to do it all over again, I would buy better quality tube sockets and better quality potentiometers too. I did buy a different pilot light too, because the pilot light that was included was really not good.
Right.
So
when you get this kit,
Uh-huh.
I'm just trying to, because I'm looking at the 5E3P.
Let me see.
Uh, I don't know if that's the one. It's the bill of materials layout and schematic. So, oh, I'm looking at what all that comes with.
All right, so I'll share my screen real quick since mine doesn't do the weird thing that yours does.
Because I'm assuming it comes with the layout, right?
So
You just have the layout and nothing
yeah,
else.
exactly. You just have a layout. So this is what I bought, the 5E3 14-watt
Hmm.
combo. And they I'm not going to go through all the options I chose. Basically, I chose the standard 5E3 with the weathered tweed. And I told them no power transformer, no output transformer, um, no capacitors, no resistors. Like I said, if I had it to do all over again, I would also tell them uh, no pots, no well switches. I guess are fine. Uh, but the tube sockets are really bad. They're real cheap, and
Interesting.
yeah, they're fine. I mean, they
But I
hold.
mean, it's like a $700 kit though. So
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
by the time you do all the things I did, yeah, it still came out to like something like 700 some odd dollars. I spent, another 50 or 60 parts on the pots and caps. The biggest
yeah.
expense was adding output transformer or adding transformers
Hmm.
because while it took $70 off the cost of the kit, I ordered Hammond transformers, so they were way more than $70.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm
well,
just
that's
thinking.
and that's
So
the other thing.
this is deluxe, the deluxe Tweed Deluxe.
Yeah, yeah, Tweed Deluxe. And the other thing that it makes it harder is that when you use a different transformers, the wires are colored and coded a little differently.
Right.
So I had to figure out how power transformers work and how output transformers work and what do each of these cables mean. And it
Yeah,
was
I'm looking at Mojo, because that's what I would compare that price to, is like
yeah,
Mojo Tone,
yep.
which is like 650 for all the parts, and that doesn't include a cabinet. That's just the
That's
amplifier.
that's just the chassis and all the parts.
And I'm not, from what I've heard, um Mojo Tone basically sends you the same thing. Like they send you the schematic and
Yeah.
the layout, and they don't, there's no order. And I'm looking at that Pro Lux, they call it the Pro Lux layout. They never explain what the dotted lines mean. What do the dotted lines mean, Philip?
On what? I need to see this now. Mojo Tone Pro.
No, I'm looking at, let's see if I can. I'm gonna do it.
All right,
Did I
are you gonna do it?
robot? Am I roboting?
You're not. Look at
Yeah,
that.
it's so goofy. It's apparently I can share a window, I just can't share a tab. So there's these dotted lines like here
Uh
that go.
huh.
Are those just wires under board?
Those are wires under the board.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay,
That's what
cool,
that
cool,
means.
cool, cool. But I can
Um.
definitely see how, like, without something telling you do this and then do this, and so you just check a box, check a box, check a box, or whatever. Like, there's a lot of connections here, and I
Yeah.
I feel like it'd
Exactly.
be really easy to just miss something.
And I'll tell you a thing that's missing. Like if you you see the 40 UF capacitors there near the middle.
40 UF. Yes, these
Okay.
ones.
You
These
see
big
the
ol' honking. Are they what, filter caps?
yeah, those are the filter caps. So do you see the three dots where they connect to the board at the top?
Yes.
Those should be all connected by a ground rail. Yeah, they
Oh,
sort of
okay.
are by the way that the dotted lines go, which is a little different than how a standard like the 5E3 I
Yeah,
put together
yeah,
is. But yeah, like that part wasn't explained to me, so my grounding was bad. Um, there's just
yeah.
there were
Because you can see where these two share a ground, and then this
and
shares a
then these
ground
yeah
with a
exactly
bias circuit.
yeah exactly. Um, Herschel asked how I biased with different transformers. I biased it based on the standard, the way it was already. set up, and thankfully uh, that value worked for me. Sorry, I'll go back to our
Hmm.
cameras because you cut the screen. Um,
It's so weird that it doesn't do that automatically.
yeah, yeah, it is really weird. There we go. No, it's still there. It's weird. We'll figure it out. Um, I don't. This is going to be our last stream with this software, by the way.
I feel like we
um,
need to share something just to keep it in the middle.
there we
There
go.
we
I
go.
got it. But yeah, thankfully the setup that was already there gave me the proper voltages within 10%
Yeah.
that I needed.
Yeah.
Um, so I didn't have to do any crazy extra biasing with the different transformer. I used a transformer that was designed for a Tweed Deluxe. I just didn't use Weber's transformer.
Hmm. Hmm.
So anyway, it was fun. It works. I still need to go in. I'm probably going to end up changing at least the tone pot because in a traditional Tweed Deluxe, all three pots are the same value. They're 1 meg audio taper pots, but
Yeah.
they sent me something different for the tone, and so it's doing something weird. So I'm going to change it out and just to get it right. But for now, I'm not too worried about it. It works. It sounds great. I sent a video to a couple of folks, and it
Oh,
sounds
I
like a
know.
Tweed Deluxe should.
RJ's telling me to stop slouching, but that I don't think that's actually the problem. The problem is my I've never raised my desk earlier. So I'm
Oh,
just
I
like
gotcha.
not sitting properly. My camera got bumped too, so it might be angled a little higher than usual. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can see the corner
Yeah, I can see the corner of your
uh
ceiling.
of my ceiling,
I've
which
never
I
been able to
normally
see that
keep a
before.
yeah, it's white.
I went out on a limb today and didn't wear a hat. My hair has gotten so long. Um, and I'm at a point now, like, let's see if I can show you. Look at this.
You're gonna turn that into a mullet, dude. You are in Mississippi.
I know. I'm gonna. So Kelly likes it long a little bit, but I like it much longer than this. So she's like, I'm like, it's getting close to like short high ponytail length, and she's like, okay, that's when we need to get it trimmed. I said, no, that's when it's good. That's
You
when we're
can
getting where I want it to be.
you can be like Johnny Lightfoot, which I didn't. That was one of those guys where like I knew him from somewhere, but I couldn't figure out where. Um, and now I feel bad that I didn't go to the DoD space at Nam.
Yeah, I didn't
Uh,
either. I'm really sad I
but
didn't get over
uh,
there.
but yeah, so one of the comments on I don't know, I think it was on one of the Bees music or somebody's video that they made where they at from Nam where they went to the DoD Digitech space
Uh
was why does that old man have that like have a mohawk
huh.
basically dunking on his hair, which is like really, I mean, I feel like that's, you can do that with like 80-90% of the people at Nam anyway, because it's
Yeah.
just, it's the, everyone's like so many people are putting on their old rocker outfit that it's like, you're really going to go at a dude for having like a super high fade when there's a bunch of guys who are trying to look like frickin' uh, you know, they're in Motley Crue.
Right.
They
The
look like they're
amount
there
of
for their Guns N' Roses tryout.
the amount of leather at Nam is a PETA advocate's nightmare. Also, the amount of pleather that is there is an environmentalist nightmare.
Oh, it's an absolute environmental disaster. The amount of hair product that gets flushed down the
Oh my
drain.
gosh.
There's
The hole in the
probably,
ozone wasn't from it was just from Nam hairspray.
oh my gosh. But anyway, um, I let me grab this.
All right, go for it. Grab the thing. What's up, Robert? Welcome to the stream.
Um, in addition to the giveaway that we're running, that will officially get announced. Well, if you're in the Patreon, it got announced to you last night. If it'll officially get announced tomorrow, but I announced it like 5-10 minutes ago. But I also got this pedal in.
Yeah,
I've
you
actually
did.
had that 1 ton B for a while, but I got this in, messed around with it last night. I did. So there's only one thing. This first of all, this pedal sounds great when you get in the setting.
Is that an
This is
angled enclosure?
yes,
Oh,
because it's a Keeley
that's
enclosure.
right. It's one of the new
It's that new
Keeleys.
Keeley
That's right.
format. This is the Super Rodent. Um, also, also, I have a Meowgulator now. I was playing. I was playing. Uh, because one of my younger kid loves she always sings the melody intro for The Reason,
Uh-huh.
Hoobastank. And so I was playing it. I was trying to get Melissa to film me playing it, but then kids ran in and interrupted that because I wanted to post it as "I'm not a perfect person" as a caption. It still
Yes.
might happen. I just need to.
I love that.
But this pedal sounds great. My only thing that I would say is a detraction on it is it's the tone knob. They say the tone knob is from a rat circuit,
Yeah.
and it kind of does the thing, but because it's not an inverse pot, it throws me off.
Oh, I got you. I
So
got you.
I took that pedal and I put it side by side with my woodcutter,
Uh-huh.
and they definitely are both very much sitting in the same space, which they should. But the woodcutter has the classic reverse
Yeah, yeah.
tone knob.
The cut instead of the addition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love this. Uh RJ says you look so tiny. You'd never know by the way we're sitting that Steve is like 7 inches taller than me.
Is that better? Is that bigger?
Hold on. Go back, go back. I was gonna solo you. There you go. That make you feel better? RJ? Does that make you feel uncomfortable?
It's also like the angle of my camera. Ryan always complains about this height difference. I don't really understand why. I think it's because for editing and post, maybe when we do remote, it makes it more difficult. I don't know.
Maybe
He
hold on,
wants
hold on.
he
Let me see.
wants
There.
there. Now it's better.
Now I feel like I'm like a little kid at the grown-up table.
Well, what's funny about it is like I'm always the one who has to adjust my camera,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
which means I have to get up, do a quick release, tighten it up, sit back down, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then I got to do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again.
See, and y'all, this is the thing. Like when you set up camera angles, like my head is specifically designed when I sit to hide that lamp that's behind me, providing.
Oh yeah, that is
Yeah,
bright.
yeah, it's real bright. I'm going back to my regular position. I can't do this. Um, but gonna look at a couple of these comments real quick. Let's go through a few things. If y'all got any questions, toss them in the chat. Ampero Mini just arrived. Feels solid. Planning to use it for effects to save board space. Richard, I had the Ampero Stomp 2 from Hutton for a while there. I really liked it. I thought it sounded really good. My biggest issue was just a lack of support. They didn't really like do updates as often as I was hoping. Some things were a little wonky, but I thought it sounded good. My thing is, people look at the Ampero Stomp 2 and realize that's not what you've got. You've got the Ampero Mini. They look at it as like an affordable alternative to the HX Stomp. It's really not that much cheaper. It's really not. Robert, anyone have experience with a Fender 63 issue Vibroverb 40 watt amp? I've played one. Do you have issues with yours? Vibroverb is one of my favorite amps of all time. So anyway, that it's So Steve, do you know about the 63 Vibroverb?
I know nothing about it.
So the 63 Vibroverb is a brown panel amp. So it's got bias trim instead of optical trim.
Oh, okay.
And it's the original 63 Vibroverb was the first amp Fender ever put reverb in. It's the only brown panel amp that ever had reverb.
That had reverb, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then literally the next year the black panels came out and changed everything. I played one. I want an original Vibroverb, but they are like, it'll never happen because unless somebody like is like, I had this old amp out in the bar, and I just figured you might use it, and because they're like 14, 15 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know why they have to talk like that, but they do.
I'm so Michael. I think it was Michael Krause said that is if the white rat reissue has the filter in the opposite direction. I'm trying to figure that out. Ratdistortion.com doesn't exist anymore. It just takes you to ACT Entertainment, which
Oh,
apparently is like the company that owns Proco and a bunch of other brands now. So it's among them Lava Cable, Proco Sound, Rapco, Rat, um, which I didn't know Lava Cable was part of that, but I know Rapco and
I didn't either.
Proco were kind of
I didn't know
related.
Lava Cable was still around.
Turn off to the right to roll off, so that's the normal. And the white rat's not even on the this website, so that's not helpful.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha, gotcha.
the white rat was a limited edition reissue. I mean, maybe the originals, but I don't know if I'm going to find an original description.
Yeah,
And I
probably
get
not.
1,000 pop-ups from the site. Roll it down for darker or up for more treble. Isn't that the same? Turn it to the right to roll off. Yeah. So I don't know if it's reverse. I'd have to.
I
I've
you
never
know
played one.
I haven't owned a rat in forever. Like I have a Moski like super rat, the like
Hmm.
$15 clone. I guess they're like $30 now, but whatever. And that does it. I had a woodcutter. I ended up moving that on just because I never used it. Like I'm not a rat person. I don't want to have like a really great rat sitting on the shelf for that one day every year. I feel like pretending that I'm in a grunge band, right? So I
Yeah.
bought the
Yeah.
$15 rat to do it. Richard asked what speaker did I use going back to my Tweed Deluxe. I used the Weber A125 Alnico. I really like it. I think it sounds great. Michael Krause says on the JHS Pack Rat one, Rat Pack, one of the settings is backward for the model rat.
Interesting. I mean, I know that one was done very to like specific, so to a very specific, uh,
Justice, watching Steve talk about
method.
rats while making him a drat pedal.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's been really good to see the Fuzz Imp stuff starting to pick up again.
Yeah, dude.
For 2025, it's very exciting.
Yeah, I want to
Um,
thank everyone that liked a comment on Threads where Justice said if he got so and so many likes, uh, he would make me one of his the big box with the one big I get X Machina. I don't remember what it's called
is it
now.
the Ex Machina?
Yeah, X
Not or
Machina.
the
Okay, I had it right. Yeah, so I've got one of those coming at some point. Really, really excited. I'm a fuzz junkie, so. You got anything coming, Steve? You got anything new besides that?
No. Well, I mean, this is all stuff that's actually on tomorrow's What's New. So,
Oh yeah, so
um,
everybody's getting the sneak peek. I
yeah. So
do
this
have
is
something
all a
that's
little bit
arriving
ahead.
tomorrow that I'm
You
really, really
do.
excited about. I have the Enzo X arriving tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm so excited to play that. I know that I'm not the typical person that someone would think would be really into an Enzo, but I really, really love the sounds. I had a
Hmm.
regular Enzo and I loved that one. What I didn't like is that in order to use presets, you needed like a MIDI controller, right?
Oh, gotcha.
But with this new one, it's, way easier to use presets, way
Yeah.
easier to access them.
I only played the original Enzo for a minute and couldn't immediately connect to it because it's just so far out in, left field for where my brain wants to be.
Yeah. And RJ knows what's up. Also, the fact that you can just plug a MIDI keyboard into it and use it like an actual synth.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about that.
Oh yeah, RJ's got his Walrus R1 Mark 1 coming.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and
Oh,
Michael Kraus. Yeah,
yeah.
Big Ear has pedals back in stock.
Let's talk about that. Big Ear is
Yeah.
back, baby. Yeah,
They've
Big Ear is going
got
to be a topic here a little later.
they've got the loaf in stock. They've got two different Albi colors in stock. They've got the woodcutter in stock. They've got the white woodcutter in stock.
Oh,
They
dang.
got they got the Matt Hoops loaf in stock, which I'm not sure what I don't remember what the difference is between the regular loaf and the Matt Hoops loaf.
Me either.
I mean, there's some like graphical differences. Um, but I don't. Oh, it is slightly more low end gain.
Yeah.
Because his loaf, Matt's loaf, is the original spec. So it's like basically like a version 1, and the current version is I don't know what version numbers they are, but I'm saying as an example, Matt's loaf is the original run that you could call a version 1.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Well, I'm gonna share my screen here just so we can actually see them. Yeah. So Loaf is in stock. Albi is in stock. There's a B stock Albi available. Woodcutter is available again. That's like I said, I just sold mine not too long ago, but it's a great pedal.
I'm I might be I might be buying um I'm trying to figure out if I want to do it. Uh
I know. We've been talking about it.
no, this is a different thing.
Different thing?
I might be buying Snarky's woodcutter at some point because he's selling off
Oh.
a bunch of gear. I have a woodcutter, but I have a woodcutter NYC.
Hmm.
And he has a newer one, and it's really dumb that I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're different because they probably aren't.
They aren't. I don't think they are. I had the woodcutter I had was the tuxedo. Uh,
Oh yeah, with the plastic,
yeah, it had the
like
plastic
top.
plate on top of it that was
Yeah,
black on the white pedal.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was real classy, real classy. I liked it a lot. I just would never, I'd never use a rat pedal, so it's just not a thing that I get that into. Um, what else we got? Apparently, Jam Pedals has something new. As do you mean coming or that's out? I've never played a jam pedal. Have you, Steve?
No. You know what? I have it now, but it's been years.
Okay.
It was like a few years ago. Their booth is almost always like pretty packed.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think because if I remember, is Jam yeah,
Greece.
they're a Greek company,
Yeah, they're
so
in Greece.
I don't really see them a lot. I know people who own a bunch of them, but it's just not a company I've really see enough of. I think in my kind of sphere
I get it.
of building. It's kind of tricky. Like Crazy Tube Circuits is another brand that like I know Andy Ferris
Yeah.
was doing like every single launch for them, and I was like, who are these people? Like,
Yeah,
and
they make a really good. So I was on a tube overdrive kick last year at one point. I was reading all about like every tube overdrive I could find. Cuz let's be honest, what I wanted was the Kingsley, but like
mhm.
there's a weight and they're expensive and I don't get me wrong, I still ended up buying an expensive one cuz most of them are expensive if they're done correctly. But Crazy Tube Circuits makes a tube overdrive that's really good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've heard that they're good. So like Michael Crosses, I feel like jam pedals are in the analog man niche. Are they? I just they have graphics, so I feel like that already puts them outside of the analog man.
Yeah, I don't really no, I think they're a little more I think jam pedals are a little more production. They're a little more I'm trying to think of a comparable company size wise and like production wise because jam pedals are out there. I see lots of boards with them on there.
Yeah.
Um I think maybe they're comparable to like a Caroline Effects size company.
Interesting.
Uh yeah, I think they're closer to that than they are like Analog Man. Um so I or maybe like a Mythos size company.
Yeah, they've got like a pretty big um so that would kind of be my question because they have like a pretty big lineup.
They have a huge lineup.
Um which is kind of what makes me feel like I like it makes it kind of hard to categorize them with a lineup that big. Well,
Speaking
I
of
guess
bigger pedals,
Mythos has a big lineup, so
yeah, Mythos has a really big lineup. Okay, Jam has a much bigger lineup than I even thought they did.
yeah.
Woof.
But maybe Mythos is the comparison because I know Mythos has a bigger lineup than I think of.
Yeah. This thing is absurd.
Is it just like every single one of their pedals in one box?
It's all of their pedals that Greg Koch wanted.
Ah,
So it's a multi effects.
oh,
So
yes, the Cockness
the Koch
monster.
Ness
Okay,
monster. So
now it's kicking. Yeah, that makes sense.
look at this. Grant
Oh,
chiming
hey
in.
Grant.
Let me go back. Bad guitarist. Did anyone else snag a brown atom while they're blowing them out for 169? Yeah, if you were looking at getting a brown atom, it is worth looking at right now. It's actually
Hmm.
cheaper than even he's saying. They're 159 for the beige colored one. It is 169 if you want the black finish. But they've got them on sale right now because they are replacing them. They're changing the clipping structure, but ultimately, I think it came down to the fact that another company has a product named the Atom. So
So the both the black and the whatever the FDE, whatever I don't know what FDE is, are both 169. It's the blems that are 159.
oh, that's
And
weird.
the blems are sold out.
Blims are sold out. I could swear I looked earlier and the regular FDEs were 159, but
What is FDE? What does that
I
mean?
don't know.
What color is FDE?
As we Google, what
Flat
color?
dark earth.
Okay, flat dark Earth.
A muted khaki brown that resembles the desert. It's like a gun color. It's yeah, it's a military uniform color.
Big ear. I'm assuming you guys mentioned us earlier because our page popped off. Love it. That's the power of influencing right there. Um,
Is that what we're doing?
yeah.
I'm trying so what exactly is the alkene? Is the alkene actually out already?
So the alkene is gonna be the atom, but they're doing some. They talked about it on their Instagram. There's just gonna be some very slight changes to the overdrive circuit.
Hmm.
I'm trying to find it. In fact, if you go to their store page, they changed the name of the atom on the store page. It says the Nashville Overdrive.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. But that's the one that's going away
Yeah, that one's going
because
away.
apparently they're getting sued. You want to start some rumors? Say that they're getting sued by satellite amps.
I don't think they're getting sued. My guess is there was a conversation that was had, though.
I mean, one is an amp and the other one's a pedal. They're that's a different enough space, guys. I'm just talking shit. It's not real.
Anyway, oh, I gotta check this message. Um,
Grant was using the power of cookies to determine that it was us. Um, and yeah, if you're on mobile, you can't tag. I have that problem all the time in the
yeah,
streams I'm
I
in.
hate that. I wish I could. Anytime I'm like, oh, I need to start tagging in chats, I jump on a browser. So, yeah, one of the visitors. Look at Grant watching his website. I love this. Uh, yes, bad guitarist. They're adding a switching switch, a clipping switch. That's what I want. To flip between a couple of different clipping modes. One of them will I think is the stock the way it comes right now, and the other is I can't remember. Um, I asked the folks over at Brown what the change was going to be, and he told me, and I can't remember now.
I'm sure he's very disappointed.
I know. I look. We're lucky that I wake up every morning and remember who I am. So, but David told me I'll look it up later.
Yeah. Hey, we got
Um.
60. Oh, it was at 67. We dropped
Oh,
back
where are you
down to
people going?
62. So, but yeah, we don't necessarily. Well, we have. I don't know when we want to do this thing. I just looked up recording phone call laws in the state of California, and I think in order to do this on a live stream, I have to get their permission
Mm.
to do it legally.
Oh wow. Oh, so you were
Well,
gonna make the call live.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
if
is that a terrible idea? Is
no,
that a bad live stream?
if you so here's the deal. If you I don't think it is. You could do it, but don't air their side of the conversation. We can just have a one-sided conversation listening to you.
But then I won't be able to hear you. I would only be able to read the chat.
Just take one ear off, just one, and I can be that voice in your ear.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. We want to do this now.
Yeah, I'm ready if you are.
All right, go ahead and share. Well, okay, since Grant's here, let me
Yeah.
ask this question. Go ahead and share the screen.
All right, I'm pulling it up now because I'd taken
Grant,
it away.
Philip is bullying me
I am. I'm totally bullying.
into buying this.
Here we go.
And the question that I have before I call 972-422-7171 is whether or not I should be doing this, Grant. And you are the expert on big ear pedals as the owner.
As the guy who made these.
Should I be pulling? Am I dumb? Am I dumb for buying this? I listened to the Premier Guitar demo. Okay. The answer is no.
The answer is no.
So I have a different question then. I sent this picture to Philip earlier today.
Oh, yeah. You want me to pull that up real quick?
I got it. I got you.
Okay.
Let's see. Are we roboting?
No, no roboting. And soloed.
This is from 2015, Grant. I actually have a very vague memory of all three of these pedals because I think this is the NAMM where we met for the first time in NAMM 2015. But I don't remember these pedals. So I'm very interested in and this is very communication with the chat that people who watch this later will not be able to think participate in. But the internet does not remember these pedals at all. Oh my gosh, Bean as harmonic percolator is such a great name.
What? That's really, really good. I have my harmonic percolator down here. I was playing it this morning, actually.
And yeah, a harmonic percolator in 2015, because they got super trendy, like 3 or 4 years ago? Everybody and their mom started making a harmonic percolator. But yeah, 2015, I didn't
and the
really
Kenneth
know what they
was
were.
A compressor with a boost. That part we could see. What is the one on the right?
Is it Arthur? I wanted it to be the Artax, but now I know it can't be the Artax. So maybe it's an Arthur.
I feel like it can't be. I'm gonna go back to us real quick.
It can't be Arthur.
I think the way it was Arthur. It was a phaser.
The king of phase a lot. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of terrible and kind of awesome. It's terribly awesome. All right, I'm gonna.
This is my harmonic percolator.
Never officially released, so that makes sense. I feel much less insane now.
Yeah.
I only feel mostly insane. So that's good. That's a good place to
See,
be.
Steve and I have these conversations about collections. And if you're a collector, it doesn't matter, you know, if it existed, you're a collector and you need it. Is the way it
I don't
kind of works.
I don't have a percolator. I don't actually even know how a percolator works. I don't
It's a fuzz, but
continually.
it's like a low gain fuzz.
No, I mean like the coffee percolator. I don't know how those work.
Oh, oh,
Type of pot used for brewing coffee by continually cycling the boiling or nearly boiling brew through the grounds using gravity until the required strength is reached.
yeah.
Interesting.
We have a percolator at work.
Hmm.
So, AS said I've never heard of that kind of pedal, but you have heard it. Um, what? Oh, the producer. What was his name?
Was Butch Vig a percolator guy?
No,
Or
it was Steve
is it
Albini.
Albini?
Steve
Albini?
Albini.
Yeah.
He used it on like everything.
Yeah.
So, you've heard the harmonic percolator. You just didn't know you were hearing it. Let's see what else. I'm going to go back through these comments. Let's see. Michael Kraus, which one should he get? I actually don't know who makes like a readily available one. Like the Brainiac Effects one, he builds like 4 at a time, and so it's when he can get the right germanium transistors for it, so he doesn't always have it available.
Yeah. The
Um,
the supposed best one, but it's also like very
Hella
difficult to get
expensive.
is the land effects
Oh, that's right. The Land
one.
Effects was the big one everybody was into there for a little while.
Does anybody actually know who land effects is?
I have
Somebody
no
knows,
idea.
right? Yeah, land effects is a guy is like a is like a person, but it's like a secret builder.
Really?
Land devices, that's the yeah, my understanding is it's a secret. I could be wrong.
You know who I
Like
bet knows?
they're in Long Beach.
I thought. Wait, what? Are they really?
Literally, when you go to their about page, it says hello. There's a picture of a coyote and it says land founder. Land Devices was established in 2017. All our products are designed and built in our studio in Long Beach, California.
Okay,
And
awesome.
that's it. That's the entire information.
So here you go. There's a few available on Reverb. Um, by a few, I mean a lot of them.
They're actually cheaper than I remember them being.
Same. They're cheaper than I remember them being. There's a yellow one available for $2.15 and $9 shipping. Seriously, y'all, that was listed 9 days ago. If you're into these, that's a stupid deal.
I think I have a suspicion that the prices I'm thinking of, because I think they got the quote JHS bump
Yeah.
a while back. So
I think there was a different pedal that they had that went like crazy money. Um but yeah, I think they make really rad stuff. From the demos I've heard. I've not
mhm.
played any of them.
Ryan had the HP1 or whatever, HP2 for a bit.
Yeah, that's the one. The
I
HP2 is
googled
the harmonic percolator.
yeah, I googled who his land device is,
Uh-huh.
and one
Grant
of the
Wilson's
results
picture came up? No, I'm kidding.
no, one of the results that came up is
as as
I'm
Steve
sorry, I'm going back to the chat and I'm trying to figure out like uh
Steve factory reset there for a second.
I'm going well because I went back to the chat and all I see is Grant saying I do but fuck you. And I'm like, wait, what
Yeah,
was I don't know.
he knows who
I
Land
don't know what
Devices is.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well,
The
one of
Machina 2 has a percolator setting on it.
one of the results I saw is a Reddit thread from 3 years ago that said, "Is Bill Finnegan the person behind Land Devices?"
Oh,
Um, and
yeah,
it's like,
no, absolutely
but
not.
it's just like. Anyway, the dude says a few weeks back, he comes in. Guy says, "I recently visited my guitar store." Da, 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 da. Uh, Anyway, the dude says a few weeks back, this guy comes into the shop claiming to be from Land Devices and wanting to know if they stock Land Devices pedals. He says this guy tells him they're planning to do a re-release, an updated version of the Klon Centaur with a bunch of mods that Bill did apparently for various musicians, but never released them. The guy says they're going to launch a new Klon Centaur pedal in 2022, 2023, which that never happened. Um, so, um, so I think that's kind of where that speculation came
Well,
from.
I think we can guarantee it's not Bill
So it's just
Grant.
um
So scrolling, I'm going to scroll. I'm going to switch our subjects here for just a quick second. Anyone a fan of using tube-based preamp into a solid state to get those nice tones on a budget? It depends on the preamp. I'll be honest. I don't know how. Like by the time you buy a good tube preamp,
right.
you're spending what you could have spent on a tube amp. So
I I think that's kind of like this screwball, I don't know what um
like
that's exactly the thing.
I told
It's
you
like
last year I went on the tube overdrive pedal hunt. I ended up with the
right.
Thorpe. I got the Thorpe Electric Lightning.
Mhm.
The Chris Buck pedal. Spoiler: I don't now sound like Chris Buck. I'm
Mhm. Mhm.
false advertising. Um,
Well, that's disappointing.
it is really disappointing, but it is a really cool pedal. It's much lower gain than I expected out of a tube overdrive. It's really really nice though. It's really mid and treble heavy, so you have to like if you want any low end, you have to crank the bass controls. But anyway, see, this is what I'm talking about. Turtle Studios. Meanwhile, I'm over here buying old PV amps and making them vibey. Don't replace the grill cloths. Let it be, man. Just let it be what it is. I was playing my PV Bandit yesterday. I freaking love that amp. I'm trying to track down one of the original PV Rage amps. I don't want teal. I don't want teal stripe. I don't want trans tube. I want the original metal panel, like
Mhm. Mhm.
earliest version of the PV Rage. But then like the other thing is it has to be close enough to me to make sense, right? Because I don't want to
Yeah.
ship one.
Grant says I use a 5K tube mic pre on a $90 solid state PV. I mean, that's kind of the thing is that I think if you already have the equipment or you have other uses for it, then maybe that's the place to go. I know, I'm hoping, and I could be wrong. I'm assuming, Grant, that you have that tube mic for, tube mic pre for actually recording microphones. But I
Right.
don't know. The flip side of that is I'm pretty sure back in the day we were used to record vocals on a PV Rockmaster. So
Yes. Which you can buy as a
preamp,
pedal now.
yeah, which is now a pedal. But we used to take which I think was a Rockmaster. I don't remember if it was a Rockmaster tube. There's also one called the Rockmaster tube preamp. It may have been that one.
Yeah.
But I have this memory of it. I don't know why, but it's a memory that I have. Maybe it was a different PV preamp, but oh
Coyote
man.
Stardust. Real question: is there anything remotely magical about an actual clone versus the many insert many clones out there, or is it
Uh-huh.
100% just because it was the original?
Hot take. Clones aren't magical. They're just a drive pedal.
Yeah, I that's ultimately it. I've played a couple of originals. I played a shit ton of clones, and they sound like clones.
Right.
I had the
I'm
JHS clone, which, if you
right.
watch the video, Josh does a demo switching between his clone and his JHS one, and they sound the same. I sold that one immediately after that video because my $40 Wish clone sounded close enough.
Jeez. Um I mean, if you're into clones, you're into clones. You're going to get a clone,
Yeah,
right? Or you're going to
exactly.
get some kind of clone circuit. I think the whole idea of buying, you can buy the 200 and whatever dollar version. When's the last? Have they released a batch of KTRs anytime
I don't watch, so I have no
in the
idea.
last however long? Um, Humbucker Music, just you can get them on the list. Um, Oh, I don't even know if you can still. Yeah, you can get on the list for notification, but I don't know that they're really getting them very um frequently. Like it looks like kind of they get them maybe once a year.
Yeah.
But kind of feel like they kind of all do the whole same thing. I wanted to hit this one next. I
Yeah.
I think
I'm
I
kind of
think
going
they
down them.
will.
Here's okay. I'll tell you what I think. I think the
Yeah.
value on those had already been hit.
So the question is, do you think the Josh Homme decade will impact vintage values? Um and yeah, I think they will. But I think you're right. That the prices are already kind of coming down.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever be $75 again like they were at one
Hmm.
point. But I think, I'm seeing them locally for 110, 125. Don't look on Reverb, but
That's what I'm doing right now.
yeah, well, Reverb you're gonna find what 250. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
no, that's too much. If I go to Facebook, uh, search for PV Decade, let's see if I can find one. Oh look, there's a PV Rage in Parrish, Alabama for $50. We're gonna save that listing. All right, so I can get back to that one later. Um, and so the thing here locally, because I live in Mississippi, I see them all the time, but very rarely will they actually be labeled PV Decade.
Right.
Sometimes it'll just say PV Amp, and PV is misspelled, or it'll say Guitar Amp, and that's it. Or
Yeah. Well,
sometimes just
you
Amp.
know, it's Mississippi. You can't spit without hitting a PV product.
Right? You really can't, man. So,
So
I don't see any on an initial search. There may not be any right now, or I have to get creative with the search. But yeah, $110, $125. I'm seeing them all the time. So,
yeah. I'm
all right.
looking at my local PV right now, and there is one that they're calling a guitar amp, but it's actually a PV Solo, which I think is and it's missing the power button, and they want $40 for it. But I swear they wanted $20 for it like a month ago. So I don't. But it's actually a mic. It's like an amp designed for. It's called the Solo because it's got two inputs, a channel 1 and a channel 2, including a microphone input. So I think it's designed for like, if you're trying to go busking or some sort of situation like that. Otherwise, we've got a PV Basic, and not a lot else on the small PV side. A lot of big
Yeah.
PVs.
So, I immediately found this one. Look at the dust on this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
be
oh,
contacting them.
got a
$50
bunch of.
PV Rage. Let's go. All right, so let's go back a few. Turtle Studios 2x12. From that same time period, those late 70s tube PV amps. There's the Renown, there's the Classic, there's the Deuce, which I want a Deuce real bad. That's the Leonard Skinner amp. That's
Oh,
what that's
gotcha.
what they
Okay.
played, the PV Deuce. I refuse to pay more than $300 for one. That's just
Hmm.
what it is. Michael Kraus, at the risk of offending everyone's senses, Art Tube MP into an amp. The Art Tube MP does not actually use the tube. That thing is
Really?
that thing is a glorified nightlight in that preamp.
That being said, I did know people back in the day who swore by Art Tube Pre into
I know. I know.
a thing.
I had
I
a bunch
was
of them. I had a
I
bunch of them.
got it
That tube didn't do shit.
I got it mixed up. I've got an Art DJ pre for my record player, which is
Oh,
no
gotcha.
longer hooked up because my kid decided that it's time to start climbing on tables, and
Uh,
was trying to stand on my record player, and uh yeah, I don't think my record player is designed to support the weight of a 75-pound kid. So
that
um
tracks. That
hur-
tracks.
hooray,
Um,
hooray.
Turtle Studio. I sold my Decade when the first article came out. There you go. Make that money, dude. Seriously.
Let's see. I'm looking through. Grant says, "Oh, I don't know Professor Klon. Um, I don't know what that means,
I don't
but
either.
I did want to jump down to this one. He says, "Where's my Wiggy love?" Both Philip and RJ, who's teletalks in the chat, send me a Wiggy listing like at least twice a month.
Yep. I
Like
see them all the time.
if there's a Wiggy in San Diego County, RJ sends me that listing, and I'm just like, yeah, dude, no, I'm not I'm not gonna get it.
You should.
I'm not gonna buy it.
There's one. I'm gonna do the PV amp search. Stop using actual. Actually, I'm just gonna search PV, just in general. And let's see if I can find that listing. It may be gone. It may have already sold. Uh, oh man, there's a T15 for $575 with the amplifier case included.
Wait,
Dude.
what? A T15 with amplifier case? What
Yep.
is that?
Oh, well, I will share. So, a PVT 15
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm confused. I know what a PVT 15 is.
with the case with the amplifier in it.
What the hell? I don't
Yeah,
know if I've
that was
ever seen this.
standard. Yeah, so everyone's seen this empty spot in the PV plastic cases. This is what's supposed to be there.
That's so dumb.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
what's supposed to be there.
how much is this? 570. Okay, so like I'm looking at one in Fanny's House of Music up in Nashville, and
Uh
they
huh.
want 600 for it. So that's kind of like the going
Yeah, yeah.
going
Pretty
rate.
much the going rate. Let's see. We'll go back to us here. Let's go back to some comments. Um, what have we got here? Uh, Sir Frodo, Senor Frodo, XD. I may be late to the party. What do you guys think about the open book headstock on the new Epiphones? It's about freaking time.
Is that that you're talking about the Gibson?
Yeah, the
The
Gibson
Gibson head.
headstock.
Yeah, I think they were very long overdue for
Yeah,
that.
extremely.
Um, and that's part of the reason why, like, for years I wouldn't say the only Epiphone I wanted, because it's not like I was like chasing Epiphones, but I was always on the lookout for, I think, 1988, 1989, somewhere in there. They actually made Epiphones in Korea. Um, and
Yeah.
yeah, as Big Ear Pedals is saying, Epiphone Japan has done it since the 90s.
Yep.
They did one domestic run in the very, like I said, the very tail end of the 80s, that had them. I just never liked the clipped ear
Yeah, I hate
headstock.
that one. I hate that one. I hate it so much. It's so ugly. It's
Yeah.
um let's see, scrolling back a little ways to make sure we can get some of these. Michael Kraus, please go buy that.
Is that worth it
Yeah, dude, I think so.
in this economy with these gas
It's
prices?
2 amp. It's two tubes. It replace the tubes. $125. Get your Skinnerd on. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's see. I know Fuzzimp has an old PV Minx. He also has a Bandit like me. Let's see. Oh, the Art MPA rack unit can operate at full plate voltage, so that's good. That's way better than those little tube preamps. Those little tube preamps
Mm.
never got to plate voltage. Um, let's see. Fender bass breakers. You ever played one, Steve?
No, I know they were like really popular. But I don't know. They kind of always hit me as like the Fender version of like the Marshall Origin series,
Yep,
or
that's
maybe
how I
vice
felt about them.
versa. But I've heard good things about them. I just, or what was um the PV amp line?
The classics,
No, because the classic is like equivalent to the Fender Hot
The
Rod
Valve
series.
Kings.
Valve Kings,
Yeah,
yeah. That's kind of
I
the
think
vibe I had.
I think the Fender's a little better quality than the Valve Kings were.
Yeah. Grant, I think I have seen the skinnier open book. But it's been a while.
I'm gonna look and see if I can find it. Let's see. Image search. Um, I don't know. I think it's dumb that I think it's really dumb that Gibson hasn't just given Epiphone the Gibson headstock from the get go.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole dog ear thing was trying to stick with the Gibson or the Epiphone, like the vintage Epiphone headstocks, right?
Here we go. I found one.
But
It's not a Black Beauty like Grant described, but it is a Korean Epiphone Les Paul that looks freaking great.
yeah, that's the headstock that I'm
Yeah.
was saying talking about earlier.
Yep. That looks. I mean, you can sort of not really see it because the darkness right in the corner, but I think that looks freaking awesome.
But I guess like I'm looking at a 1966 Epiphone Casino and it's got the like an open book headstock. Um but I know like the Epiphone by Gibson in the 80s, the semi hollows had that more wonky kind of thing going on. So
66 is before they started making them overseas, though, isn't it?
oh yeah. I'm just trying to say like I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where the dog ear headstock or the clipped ear headstock comes from.
Grant, you can send it to me or Steve, either one of us. Um, yeah, I don't know. Even Orville, exactly. Even Orville had the open book headstock.
Yeah. It's just something that they were like trying to do, it's the American domestic market where I presumably like the European market where they had it, but like yeah, the Japanese domestic market or like was very kept the open book.
Yep. Amanda says my only amp is a PV Viper VIP 2. No shame. Love it. Well, you know what? Go over to Ben and steal some of his amps. He doesn't need all those amps. Just borrow some of those. It's fine.
So that headstock shape is called the clipped dove wing. Is actually what they call it, and it was the Sheraton. It was, what first appeared in the 1930s on the Epiphone Emperor.
Yep.
This is the headstock that's on the Sheraton 2 and Sheraton 2 Pros. I'm trying to see if they actually have something for.
Steve, she did steal that from Ben. Okay, next time steal a better amp. Still no shame, but next time steal a better amp. Oh, what's up, Joe? Joan hanging out.
Hey, Joan. Get Ryan to test the Star Master. The Star. Okay, can we talk about the Star Master? Let's talk about the Star Master.
Sure.
I'm so uninterested in the Star Master. I don't.
Are
I
you
don't
serious?
It's just a Jazz Master with a Starcaster. Like
It is not. Hold on, sir. We're gonna
I
have
guess
words.
it's not like the two tone. Is it got like a German carve thing happening?
It's got a two tone. It's on the arm bevel, on the arm contour, is a different color. I want this black one so bad.
The black with the silver.
Yes. I want this guitar so bad. I
I
realize it's just going to pixelate this photo as I zoom in on it, but I don't care.
yeah,
I just
I like that idea. I just actually think aesthetically, the Starcaster headstock fights with like the Starcaster headstock is trying to curve in an opposite direction from the body, and it just like I don't like the balance. It's like I don't know, man. Maybe I have to stare at it for a couple hours, but it's not doing the thing for me. I understand with the body, like I like what they're
yeah.
doing with the color. I'm looking at that blue one, especially like the light blue, dark blue combo is really cool. But I just don't think I don't think that headstock is for me.
I freaking love
I mean,
everything about.
A Cyprium, I think you're right. You know, these are like $2,000 right now on Reverb, basically, and
Giant pop up.
I'm sure the prices on these are going to take off.
Yeah, almost certainly. Oh, giant. Okay, there we go. Oh, there we go. Now we can actually see the thing.
And maybe like this is a bad take. I don't know. I think that I don't know what exactly the difference is. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I kind of feel like the headstock works on the built, but it doesn't work on. I mean, the bodies are so close to being the same.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like it a whole lot, especially like I said, especially that black with the silver
Yeah,
accents. Because I think the reason I like that one is because it gives this almost tuxedo look, right? This,
yeah. David Ross says big headstock for big tone.
well, it is true that big pedals give big tones, so it only stands to reason that it works with guitars as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to order directly from Japan, and by the time it gets here, and also, I mean, the dealing with possible returns to Japan sounds freaking awful if it's not
Yeah.
amazing, or if it's, if it gets damaged, or, oh, I don't know.
Are these bolt-on necks?
Oh, almost certainly. I haven't
Oh,
seen the
yep,
back of
there it
them.
is. No, I just found a picture of the back of it. It is a bolt. Well, I just because Grant says that dude on eBay will part them out by next week.
Yeah,
Um,
almost certainly. All right, going back to us here. Um, I love those guitars and I want one so bad. I I can't justify it because I'm not a Jazzmaster guy. I've got the J Mascis Squire, and that one doesn't even technically have Jazzmaster pickups. It has P90s and Jazzmaster cases. So, oh, Aiden makes a great point. Speaking of ordering from Japan, I ordered something before Thanksgiving that got here a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
oh
I mean, that's another thing.
yeah. If I don't know if you can access your Instagram, but I can't. But Grant sent that
Oh yeah, let me grab
that
that.
thing.
I can.
I apparently for whatever reason only can log into Super Rich Steve on my desktop. Um,
It's all right.
so
I got you.
that's
I got you. Here we go. 1990 Epiphone Les Paul Custom, black with gold, pro buckers, narrow open book headstock. Let's find the close up of the headstock. That's can they not take one straight on? Oh my gosh.
I like how you scrolled
Jesus.
up and it was just
Nothing.
cut off.
Okay.
That's the closest I think you're
That's the
gonna.
best
Man,
we're going to get.
that binding looks sharp.
Yeah. That's real good. It's real good. It's a good looking guitar. Yeah, I like it. Um I feel like there's a place for these. Um
Yeah.
and that this is a move. If Gibson had done this sooner, I think they could have. If they had done, honestly, the rebuilds to Epiphone and the new headstock
Mhm.
sooner, I think they could have done a whole lot for their image and for getting younger players into them.
I think if they would have even stayed with that skinny headstock like throughout the 90s and whatever, I'd probably own a couple Epiphones.
Yeah, same. Oh man, hardcore same. Um, and honestly, as these newer with the open book headstocks come out, I'm more likely to maybe look for one secondhand. As inevitably some will pop up on the used market, right?
Yeah.
All right. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. Finished Steve's Echo Moon. You got an Echo Moon coming too?
Yeah, yeah. This
Oh,
is a thing Justice and I talked about like a while back, and then life happens. Totally get it, and I just show things on camera. I don't really make videos or anything, so I'm fine being a quaternary. What's below quaternary is
Quintenary.
like quintenary priority.
Yeah. Uh,
Ryan is a Z list celebrity, but I'm like a Zeta list celebrity. I'm in the next alphabet
he's
over.
a Z list celebrity, but in like guitar space. Come on, he's like a B. He's at least B list.
He's like a D list celebrity in guitar YouTube. No, I don't.
Dude,
I don't know.
I was talking to Sweetwater about Nam House
Yeah.
and getting some feedback, like what went well, what didn't, what do y'all want to see, and they told me he said, "Oh, we just love it anytime Brian makes an appearance." I said,
Oh
"Well,
my
you're
god.
welcome, because you'll never know the terror of waking up in the morning groggily and it's still dark and walk into a dining room and he's sitting there in the chair staring at you." Like the
I
horror of Brian cannot be understated or overstated.
um I don't. Fuzzim says I sent two pedals to DIIV. I don't know who that DI4. I don't know who that
I
is.
don't know who that is either.
Uh, but I actually I've talked about this a little bit. I actually started taking notes. Uh,
Grant says we're
for
both D's, by the way.
is that for D for dumb? No, I don't know. Uh, what does that mean? You'll always be P list to me. What's P list?
Philip List, I don't know.
Oh, Dive. It's a shoegaze band. That explains
Oh,
why I don't know who it is. Um, but what I was gonna say is every year after NAM and throughout, usually it happens for like 2 to 3 weeks after NAM, and then it happens again um in the month or so leading up to NAM, as I start getting all these ideas either of things I wish I did better or things that I want to do,
mm-hmm.
but I never write any of it down.
Oh yeah.
So I actually started making just a list where if I have an idea, um, I'm just going to write it down. And I do think there worth. I don't think I've said this anywhere else. If I was Sweetwater, I'd be kind of disappointed with the outcome of Nam House,
Oh really?
because I don't feel like I don't know how much they were like um how much they were trying to get. I know we talked about like uh getting specific sorts of content from it,
Uh huh.
and I just don't think there was a lot of content made. um and I know that some of that is uh just the nature of things. Yeah, I'm looking. The giveaways gone. I
I
have
don't
no
know who
idea who won.
won.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know who won.
um but I think so I was gonna say is I think that if I'm coming at it from their perspective, you looked at it from um we talked about this. We basically had like three heavy hitters in the house, and then
Yep.
the people who actually promoted the thing the most were I think Joan. I know you made a bunch of posts about it
Uh
just
huh.
on socials, and Philip, you did, and Guitar Dads did.
Yeah.
um I ended up having, I think, 3 or 4 videos pushing it. I think 3 videos.
Yeah.
Pushing. I know I had 3 like official content videos because I worked with RJ to get those out pretty quickly. Ryan had one video. I think Landon had a couple videos, but he tends to do more shorts. Oh, Adam had had a bunch of like
Yeah.
short form stuff.
I
Um,
so I here's an interesting thing about the Nam House. I just want to add this in very quickly. Like we had 3 guitar space heavy hitters, but
yeah,
Adam
yeah.
Adam is a heavy hitter in a in a
Into
related space, but a different space.
yeah, yeah. He does pretty well where
He
he's at.
man, that whole cover band confidential stuff that they do is that's big
Yeah.
stuff.
Um, but it's just a weird thing, and maybe I'm missing something, or maybe they just wanted to have fun and have some rep there. I don't know. And it sounds like Sweetwater's fine with it. I'm
Yeah,
not going to argue with them if they
they
are.
the conversation I had, they seem very happy with the results of it. So
Yeah,
I'm very pumped that it went so well. I've still got, if I can get to the editing of it, I've still got some content that's going to go out that'll be at least sponsored by Sweetwater, but won't involve the giveaway, obviously, because it's
right.
done.
Yeah.
Um,
I, I think like one of the ideas that I had afterwards, I wrote down. Um, so, and I'll get to this comment in a second from the bad guitarist and
yeah,
why
yeah, I
I
want
hate
to
that
come to that one
idea.
too.
But one of the ideas I had, and I got this idea from Amanda because we were talking about different things up from NAM, is nightly live stream, 30 minutes wherever you're at, whatever the reception is. Maybe it's 30 minutes of well, if it's 30 minutes of roboting, that's rough, but it's
Yeah.
like at some and do it like in the dumbest way possible to like force it, like maybe it's the 30 minutes that you're waiting for an Uber and riding back to the house, like just doing very unstructured things,
Mm-hmm.
but where you're like where you're just making it happen, and what it turns into is 30 minutes every night where you're really just promoting the link but trying to make that happen. Like that's the kind of thing that I think about, is like that could have been probably done better. The whole time we were hanging out with uh Cosmodia, I think you were at PRS
Yeah.
still. Is that when you were at PRS? No, it was after the taco party. I don't remember where you were.
We went over to
You went back to Villains
went to Villains, yeah,
with
with V's
Brian.
music
Yeah.
and yeah.
Um or like the whole thing there, like we could have set up a table at Villains and just live streamed the whole
Dude,
damn
it was
time.
raining. We couldn't even get a table.
Those are like stupid ideas that probably could have happened, that are like it's kind of like low quality, high engagement content, I think, is a thing that I'm good at,
Uh-huh.
that I should have forced to happen.
So
That's
I'll tell you.
that stupid midnight Instagram TikTok live stream
Yeah.
was like so dumb, but that's exactly the kind of content that I probably should have been focusing on at NAM.
Well, look at not this year, but last year's NAM. My best thing that came out of that was the video where I ran through all the Gibson things in less than 60 seconds.
Right, right.
And the only thing that stuck was me calling acoustic guitars grandpa shit, which I stole
Oh
from
yeah.
Death Clock. So
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah,
So going back, yeah, NAM
let's
House,
go
where
here.
they put content creators for different instruments come together and jam. I understand that people do this. The Bass House, which we got invited
Yeah.
to, didn't have a chance to go. Jason and Ryan and I hung out with the bass guys 2 years ago. That's what they do. Like they had a drummer, they had drummers, they had one drummer and a bunch of bass players 2 years ago. For me, that the last thing I want to do at 11 o'clock at night at NAM is play music.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in like a suburban environment. The place that they had 2 years ago was like up in the hills, away from everybody. They
Like
could pretty
40
much make
minutes one way.
It's
Like
not just that. It's not just that it was 40 minutes one way. It was like a castle on the side of a mountain
yeah.
in Hacienda Heights. Whereas where we were at, I feel like you probably couldn't do it, because there was so much noise. I floated the idea of like just bringing an HX Stomp and headphones and stuff, and like one guitar just for people to kind of do a thing. But even as we built up in the planning, I kind of reserved myself. Well, if somebody says, "Hey, can anyone do this thing?" Then maybe I'll do it. Or is anyone going to bring stuff? Then maybe I'll just throw the HX stump or whatever. And honestly, when it came to like the time of, I looked at how much room I was already taking up in my car,
Yeah.
and the planning was just kind of chaotic. But overall, yeah, there's not a lot of time that you're spending back at your house, which is why I'm saying like that's the thing that I think prevented me mentally. Like that was my mental block of like, well, I don't want to live stream from a restaurant. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. It's like, no, dude, like just fucking live stream from the restaurant. Like no one
Yeah.
cares. You're at a restaurant with a bunch of other people in the industry. Set the camera where it's like I was sitting in a corner. I could have set the camera where it's facing me, and when people come to the table, so it's not really like in public. It's creating a private space within the public space.
Yeah.
Um, and just doing that, like
Well,
just live
so
streaming from a restaurant, live streaming from a brewery, live streaming for 30 minutes.
I wouldn't even
Honestly,
do
like
30 minutes. I'd be like 10, 15 minutes and
yeah,
leave it up.
I'm just saying like trying to do it in a way where it's it's like a check-in. It's more of like uh a check-in. It's a quick hang. It's saying hi. But
So,
yeah, it's Phil S. Norwich says, how about luring content creators into a house under false pretenses and lock them in and live stream the fun?
so I want
Uh
to, before we go too far, I want to add a couple of things here. So here's the deal. NAM itself is terrible for long form content. Anything more than 2 or 3 minutes, it's kind of awful.
yeah.
Um, you're exhausted because you're also trying to work and make connections. The people who make that kind of crazy cool content, like you're talking about, where they actually jam and they do stuff, they don't get as much time at the show to meet and learn about new stuff. They don't get to see
Right.
everything because they can't. You can't do everything. It's actually impossible. And here's a big one that nobody thinks about. Airbnb has terms of service against filming content at an Airbnb. So does Verbo. So does all the other, like,
Hmm.
that kind of rentals. You can't do it in a hotel because it's just insane. Like that, nobody's
Yeah.
gonna tolerate that kind of noise. Airbnb doesn't let you do it because they don't want people filming porn in Airbnbs.
I mean, now that's 100% why it
Yeah,
is.
so
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so you want us to do that. That means we have to rent an additional space, carry gear to it, set up, film, edit. It's just not happening.
Yeah. I mean, we could have filmed more within the house
We
and done
could
it
have,
in
but we
way,
couldn't have done anything like mega.
but yeah, it would have been tricky. I like this idea. I don't know if I can get out of the house, but I like Grant says someday if you guys are super lucky, we'll do an Ohio house. That would
Oh,
be a
I'd be
ton of
down.
fun. Um, but yeah, that's why I'm trying to think of ideas that are like not gear heavy, that things that are like community focused but are different than just the single post. Um, but it is what it is. The hindsight is always 2020. I can't go back to January 20th and start, you know, if only I could go back to the beginning of the season and put some money on the Cubbies.
Well, we'll get another shot at it next January, inevitably. I'll put
Yeah,
together
yeah.
another NAM house. I'm already dropping those seeds with Sweetwater, see if they're going to do it again. So, we'll
Oh,
figure it out.
the joke is that you'd be lucky to come to Ohio. Yeah, I mean Ohio's third greatest state in the union, I'm sure, right?
I mean, they have 3 professional football teams. No, they don't. No, they don't. I take that back.
Oh, I
It's
thought that
two.
was a I thought that was a joke that you were going to say the Browns, the Bengals, and Ohio State are their three professional football
That's
teams.
basically true. That's basically true. Ohio State is essentially. I think Ohio State could beat. Who's the worst team in the NFL this year?
Um, I don't know.
I don't know. I think Ohio State could have beat them.
Let's see. Maybe the Patriots. No, the Browns were 3-14. The Titans were 3-14.
Oh, they could beat the Titans. They could easily beat the Titans.
The Giants were 3-14. So
Not to get on an NFL rant, but I don't know if I shared this with you, Steve. The Giants currently have zero quarterbacks under contract for the coming season, which makes it the best quarterback room in years for the Giants.
oh my gosh.
Anyway,
They don't have
Steve,
They don't have Daniel Jones anymore?
no, he's moved on, man. At least not under contract. Maybe they have an option to re-sign him, but they haven't re-signed as of a few days ago. I should also state. I'm gonna solo you for a second. I'm gonna run to the restroom. So
All right. Well,
you're on
let's
your
hit
own.
some questions. They got Tommy DeVito and Drew Lock. Oh man, let's take a. I can't actually share any comments, but that's fun. Tom, that's exciting. B&M. Steele's Real says hot tips. Dodgers will be good this year. Keep it to yourself. Yeah, that's a real hot take there. I don't know what makes you think the Dodgers could have a good team this year. It's definitely not their $250 million or whatever roster with $18 billion uh in deferred payments or whatever their ridiculousness that just everybody deferred. Um, yeah, RJ and Robert, Guitar House is a lot. I'd love to see it happen again. I only got to hang out for like a little bit, um, but I'd like to be there. I'd like to do it again. Um, I know Ryan had been looking at some Airbnbs that are in his neighborhood. So, because last time it was putting people up at different hotels and trying to coordinate all of this thing, um, these different things. But I do know that at least one of those, one of the houses he was like really looking at, they don't book out more than like 3 months or something in advance, so that makes it really hard to plan around that. And when Ryan had talked to them, they were like, yeah, we might. San Diego's going through a lot of issues with Airbnb in general and the whole like way they're handling short-term rental properties. So I think that's probably why the owner of that house has been kind of like up in the air with it. So it is a lot of coordination. It is a really cool idea to do basically a US version of Gear Street or whatever, but I guess without the vendors being there, which would have been the next level. But you need a compound for that. You can't just do that with that. And with Sweetwater doing, even though they do it on their own site, they do the Gear Fest, Guitar Fest thing. It does kind of like, it serves a similar purpose, even though it's not as loose and as dynamic as doing it at doing the Guitar House thing. So, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Um, and yeah.
So, what do we
Let's
cover?
see. Drock wants to know, Philip, do you still have the gear you first learned on?
I
Let's see,
do
that's going.
not. My first I have two first amps, I'll say. One was a Martin Stinger. That one
I've
didn't
never
last
even
very
heard of
long.
that.
It was pretty awful. But then like the first like amp that worked that I had was a PV Audition Chorus, which is a little
Mm.
like 2x6 combo with stereo chorus. I'm gonna buy another one at some point. I don't still have that one. And my first guitar was a Jackson PS2, which was a single humbucker with a Floyd Rose. I'm also kind of looking out for one of those. I sold them years and years and years ago because I just, you know, I needed to upgrade, so that's what I did. I didn't think too much about it.
I actually still have all my first three guitars.
Do you really?
Yeah. I'll grab one of
Yeah, let's
them
see.
because the other two are not in this room. But I'll grab one of them.
All right. Steel is real. It's all about the beards. Trust me, it's all about the beard. It's not the hair. The hair is doing a thing today. I have a hat over here if I end up needing it, but it's so long it's unruly. Steve, Steel is Real wants to know why we're so handsome. I told
I'm
him it's the
not.
beards.
I don't know if this is probably not in tune at all because I don't really keep it in tune. Oh yeah.
Whew.
Uh, yeah, no. But this is a like 1955, 57, something like that. Harmony. I think this model was called the Arch Tone.
It is
Uh,
gorgeous. I love those guitars.
yeah, I've actually thought about driving out to world famous Guitarland, Repairland
Uh
out
huh.
in Indio. It's like an hour and a half away. But I may take it out there because he does a lot of repair on like vintage instruments like that. Just to
Yeah.
kind of see what his take it would be. Um, this was my grandmother's guitar, so that's a guitar. Basically, she stopped playing it. I have no idea how she played because the action has always been terrible the entire time I've owned it.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it's some cowboy chord wear. As far as I know, she may have owned that guitar since it was originally like since it was like she may have been the first owner.
Wow.
Um,
That's
so I have
cool.
that one. I still own my Fender Jack Stang,
Mm-hmm.
but my kid has it. Uh, and the funny thing about that is she's now tur turning towards learning bass. So
She's following in her dad's
I
footsteps.
guess. And then I still have my first like actual playable acoustic guitar, but it's in one of those cases back there. Actually, you can't even see it on camera.
Yeah.
But it's in a case back there, and that's one that like I go back and forth about whether or not I should sell it. The problem is it's not really like worth a lot. It's a Mitchell MD 100.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, so it's like it actually plays great. Action on it's really good. Super glossy neck, which can get a little sticky, but it plays really well. It's lamb top. It's the wild thing about that guitar is because the way it's built, it's so quiet.
Really?
Yeah, because even though it's a dreadnought body, it's really quiet. Because it's just like dead sound. It
Oh,
sounds
gotcha.
fine. It just has no projection.
I
Uh,
gotcha.
Compared to like say a Taylor, which Taylors really are built to project. I don't have. Yeah, Tom, I was a Mitchell I bought in or I didn't buy it in like 1999, I think, or 2000. So I think that was when Mitchell was kind of first becoming the Guitar Center house brand. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure.
I don't know when that happened
Um,
at all.
but there's that. There's also um so I don't have my first amp. My first amp was a Crate GFX 15. My sister blew it up
Yeah.
because she was playing acoustic guitar live and turning it up and turning it up and turning it up, and then the preamp chip in it, I think it's the preamp chip or some chip in it, basically broke in half. Like it overheated and cracked, and
Mm.
that amp died, and I think I think I just threw it away.
I'm trying to.
uh,
So I don't have my first guitar. I'm trying to think what guitars I've owned the longest.
mm, mhm.
Um, I think it's probably. Let me switch to solo here for a second. I think it's gonna be that one.
The red, is that
Yeah,
like a
it's a 135.
137,
It's a
135?
135. And I have had that guitar since 2004 or 2005.
Mm, hmm.
It's either that one or this Larrivee acoustic right here, because I've had that one almost the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So 20 years. So even though I don't have my original, I still have stuff I had 20, 21 years ago. So
Yeah. I don't think I have it. Yeah, I have none of the first pedals that I owned.
oh, me either.
I don't have the first
Ooh,
amp. I
what was
just
your
have those
first?
three
What
guitars.
was your first ever pedal, Steve? I'm gonna try to
I
look mine
bought
up.
So I actually bought a set of pedals off of a dude.
Okay.
And it was a Crybaby Wah, a Dan Electro grilled cheese, a Dan Electro tuna melt, I think the PB&J, a couple other Dan Electros. It was like 5 or 6 food series pedals
Gotcha.
and a Crybaby.
Yeah, you and I probably started playing guitar around the same time, and those were kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm looking. There are none available, but I'm going to find a picture because most people don't know anything about these pedals. Oh, here we go. Please tell me that one did not sell recently and I missed it. Oh my god, it did. Damn it. Because I keep sort of looking for one. It
Hmm.
sold 3 months ago and I did not even find it.
What what do you Oh, okay. What is
Morley
that?
Diamond Distortin. Morley Diamond Distortin. I think that's way funnier than it actually is. Um, This was my first guitar pedal ever. I bought it for $25 from Musician's Friend because they were clearing them out.
Mm-hmm.
And don't let the name fool you. It is a very mild overdrive. Oh, there we go. And it is a massive pedal. It is gigantic, just like all other Morley pedals of the time. They had a whole series of these, right? They had a diamond distortion, they had an emerald echo, they had a sapphire flanger, they had a
Man,
crystal chorus.
I don't remember these at all.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh no, Robert. And you still have all of them. Oh, Big Ear. He's talking about Big Ear. I was like, don't tell me you have these. Yeah. Um, let's see if there's any of the others. Let's see. Morley Crystal Chorus. Oh yeah. Look at this. The cheapest one is $500.
Good grief.
Not worth it even a little bit. These pop up if you're patient. These pop up for like $100. Like yeah, not even close to worth it. They had a Morley Sapphire Flanger. We're
For
gonna
the
look.
same price, you can go on Guitar Center and get a Morley AFX1,
Uh huh.
which I suspect is the Crystal Chorus. With it's like that Tube Screamer thing I talked about with Ryan a while ago, where it's got 3 or 4 analog effects in like a single box.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
I
that
feel like
deal.
those didn't sell well.
Yeah, I'm sure because they probably like nobody wants one.
Yeah, exactly. I did see. So, you remember when Soldano? This is a total tangent, just on things selling well. Something
Hmm.
surprised me recently. You remember Soldano launched the rack mount version of the SLO last year, the
Yeah,
purple
vaguely.
one, and I had a conversation with someone. I was like, surely no one is gonna buy rack mount SLOs. Like that's not a thing, dude. They can't keep them in stock.
Really?
Yeah,
There's
they
a
are.
crystal core. There's a crystal chorus on Guitar Center right now for 190.
Oh, still too much, but at least it's better.
It's kind of beat up.
Yeah, I don't care about beat up. That. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I see it. It's got some sticker residue. I can clean all that off though.
Yeah.
Pro tip: if you need to clean crystal, I mean crystal. If you need to clean up crystal meth, no. If you
Well,
if you need to,
demonetized.
I know. If you need to, I have a lisp and I said mess. I don't know what you're talking about. Um, the if you need to clean sticker residue off a pedal, peanut butter,
Yeah.
we'll take it right off.
Yeah. I've done that with so I did the punk rock strap lock
Uh huh.
back in the day.
Oh yeah.
For y'all who aren't familiar with punk rock strap lock, it's not a strap lock, it's a massive amount of duct tape.
Yep.
And I did that to like just so whole. I'm trying to see if oh yeah, here we go. Uh, this is from Reddit. Uh, just show that real quick.
All right.
I basically had this deal going on. Oh, can I make it bigger? There we go. I had this deal going on uh, in high school. Not quite this extreme, but
Yeah.
pretty close. And eventually, I bought some Schaller actual strap locks and took all of this off. And yeah, that's what I used was peanut butter to
Yeah.
get the goo off.
I know Robert McDowell says use oh well, hold on, let me hunt this all down.
WD-40. Yeah,
WD-40.
I think I used some WD-40 too.
Let me do this. There we go. WD-40 does not work as well as peanut butter.
You don't think so?
I've used the WD-40. It does not work as well as peanut butter does.
Hmm.
Um, Big Ear, of course, says rubbing alcohol. There's an issue with rubbing alcohol. It'll eat through some finishes. Peanut butter will not. Yeah, don't use jelly or fluff. Neither of those will do the job. Fuzz Imp, sleeper amps are old Carvins. I had the full-size V3 head, and they keep popping up. I used to have I had something 2100, I think. I'm gonna find it. I don't remember. Not the VL 2100. I don't remember. Maybe that wasn't it. Carvin amp head. I bet I can just find it if I just do that.
Yeah.
But so I had one. Oh my God, there it is. The MTS 3200. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh yeah, I had one. I had one of those for a minute.
It was so bad.
I mean, I bought one just for the flip, and it took me a while to move.
Yeah,
You didn't like it.
I did not like it.
You're
I
not
did
into
not
high
like it.
gain. You're not into those high gain tones.
Yeah, I mean, I did not think it was a very good amp.
I actually found the one that I had was actually way quieter than I thought it should be.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of odd. Um, but
Matt Lewis
yeah.
experience, creamy only. Don't waste chunky peanut butter on this.
Oh my gosh.
Steve, we have 81 people watching.
That's weird. I'm going to put this guitar back
that
up
is
because
weird.
it's making me very anxious to have a 70-year-old guitar sitting next to me on the floor.
I got you. Let's do that. Do that. Let's see. We're gonna go back, y'all. Y'all popped off a little bit on the peanut butter discussion. Yeah, rack mount SLO seem very on brand for that era. Yes, they do. They really do. So because of this guitar behind me, I guess I haven't shown this on a live stream yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Lizzie Hale. Because of that guitar, I've been on like a high gain, like kind of want a high gain amp. But it's dumb. I don't need one. I don't need one. Don't need one. I've got plugins that can do it. I'm not gigging in that kind of band, so I don't need an amp. But I still kind of want one. So I don't know. Maybe the Carbon MTS 3200 is the move though.
It's
Ooh,
not.
no, you know what would be the move though? Oh, please tell me I can find one. I'm gonna look for one. Lizzie Hale, they play through JCM 800s, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna pay JCM 800 money.
No, okay, can I try to guess?
Yes, I've already got one pulled up, so if you guess it, I'll switch over to it.
It's what is the name of the amp? It's not the Penta. It's the other one. That was
is somebody in the chat gonna get there before you get there?
It's there was the old PV Butcher, but that's not what I'm thinking of.
Those go for way more money now than you think.
It's the other one. What the hell is it? The Windsor. The Windsor
That's
head.
It. The Windsor. There's one for $400.
The Windsor. I remember playing those in Guitar Center. The Windsor is fucking sick. Dude, yeah,
Yeah,
just reach out to Bendy and get a Wong's.
I could do that. I don't know Bendy though. I know oh, I'm Facebook friends with them. Or at least I was. Um,
I'm not sure which one is their 1980 or is their JCM 800. Is that the 44 or the 2204 head?
I don't. Yeah, yeah. I think that's the
Yeah.
2204.
Wong's take on the classic 800. It's a hand wired turret board.
Oh,
$900.
Wong's also does an SLO 30 though.
Yes.
They have the HD 30.
Is that a SLO?
Ooh. Hold on. I'm gonna let me look up here. Wong's amps. There it is. Let's share these real quick. We'll talk about them here on the live stream.
Yeah.
All products, amplifiers. So they have the 1987, which is obviously a plexi.
Yep.
They have the HD15, the VT15. Let's see, the OD30. Then their D style amps.
Mm-hmm.
Then the HW. Wait, do they not make the?
It's down. No, which one are you looking for?
The JCM 800 style.
It's the 2204 HW at the bottom.
Oh.
Go down. That one.
Oh, they don't have a picture of the front of it, so that was it. Like this
Yeah.
is the only picture of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if this is the right website either. It's goofy. There's a couple different Wong's websites. Or maybe that is the website now. That's the one
Yeah.
that's coming up, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the JCM 800, I
Yeah.
believe. Um,
There's that one, and then like I said, they have I think the OD30 is their SLO 30 style amp.
yeah, there's not a lot of information there.
No, there's really not. Yeah, I may have to do that. Try to reach out, see if I can get a hold of them, and try one of those because I think that would
Who,
be really, really rad.
who do you know who you know? Who do you know?
I do, but I don't want to say it. Um, yeah, Justice hit me with it. It is the guy. I've got the right guy.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's
I'll.
Bendy.
Yep. Yep. All right. Anyway, I just realized my chats were still up. So, um, anyway, so I'll have to do that. But I'm just saying that whole like Windsor is a good shout if I can find one hella cheap
Yeah,
though. Because
yeah.
I wonder if Guitar Center has one. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Guitar Center has one for $299.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude, that might
And
be it.
it has to be the head, right? You're looking for the head
I
because they're different.
yeah, yeah. I think the head. I think that would be the one. I can't.
Yeah,
I've never found a combo.
I've seen the combo. From what I remember, the combo is not Marshall style.
Oh,
From what I
really?
remember, yeah. It's more of a Vox. That was my understanding. Haven't looked into that in 20 years or whatever, 15 years, whenever those happen. Oh, bye, Michael.
Bye, Michael.
Um,
Enjoy your play.
I'm reading a review on the PV Windsor Studio, and the first complaint is that the Blue Marvel speaker sounds mediocre at best, and uh, even disconnecting the speaker, putting it into another thing doesn't help. Um, Basically for like bedroom or studio use. Um, so I don't know what all it says, but yeah, I have this memory that the PV Windsor Studio is was like not really
Not very
doing the
good.
Marshall thing. It's doing more of a, yeah, it's a class A 15-watt combo. It's a trying to be a Vox AC 15 with a bunch of bells and
Okay.
whistles.
Yeah, because the head is legitimately just a JCM 800.
Oh,
Like,
weird. It's
yeah,
an EL, it's a single EL34 though.
single-ended EL34. Interesting.
Huh. And it will accommodate 6L6, 6550s, KT88, KT66.
Oh, so it'll do anything that's any
Yeah,
octal power tube.
that's I forgot about that. But yeah, I always heard that single EL34 basically, though a AC15 is dual 84s. I don't know. What's up, bully?
What's up,
How's it going?
bully?
You always roll in right as we're winding
I
down.
know. It's all right. That's all right. Bully's here though. Yeah, I that was a time in PV where I wasn't really like hip to everything they were doing.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to look a little more into that. But Wong's is a good shout. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on something I'm not gonna use like live,
Right.
or it's not a serious thing for me. I just like if I'm real about it, I want a
Mhm.
Mesa, like to be like a JCM 800 or a Mesa Boogie Mark 5 or a Mark 2C. Not that that's ever happening. Um, but I can't afford those because that's
Mac,
just stupid money.
Max says, "Did I miss the dancing girls?" No, but down in the description, what you did probably miss is I'm giving away this pedal in a couple weeks. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
link down below and a bunch of hoops to jump through. So if anyone wants to win this 1 ton beast, also I'm using this to launch a future 60 cycle hum newsletter. Do not have a plan for what's going to be in it. I need to talk to the John over at Signal Path about that first. But these emails are the first emails we're collecting that will actually
Wait, y'all are
start
doing an
building
email
up toward
list
that.
with John?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna
Cool.
work with. I don't know. It's John's gonna walk me through that process.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
Uh, so he's a marketing guy. I just need to hit him up, grab lunch. He's not too far, so we can figure out a way to meet in the middle. But yeah.
All right, Steve. Last one then. Let's take a final question, and we're gonna go with Ace Cyprium. Uh, Ibanez TSA 30 for $150. Deal or no deal?
Ooh, Ibanez TSA 30. I'm only familiar with the TSA,
The
the smaller
15?
one, the
Yeah.
15. I'm seeing Guitar Center $400. Adorama $500, or so that would have been originally. Mass Street Music $350. So yeah, 150 sounds like a killer deal to
That
me.
feels like a no-brainer at 150. I mean, that's the price of two tube screamers. So, and you get the amp to
Yeah,
go with it.
yeah. The TSA 80 has the built-in tube screamer, right?
I
Just like
think
the
all the
TSA
TSAs in
15.
general have a built-in
Yeah,
tube screamer because
which
that's
that's
what
that's
that's what TSA stands for: tube screamer amp.
right, right. So yeah, I feel like that's a go-to. Synthair, I guess I'm just gonna drag this shit out. Synthair 90s piece of shit Princeton combos are my go-to budgets. Somebody posted that they bought I think it was Texas Blues Alley on Threads,
Uh huh.
posted some old Prince or an old Fender chorus. It looked like a chorus amp, probably an ultimate chorus that they bought because it had, I think it was loaded with like JBLs.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
so they're
yeah.
like, yeah, I'm just hoping the speakers are good. But yeah, I have a soft spot. I don't, if I ever find one like real cheap and I'm in the right headspace, um, I'm probably going to end up buying a Fender Princeton chorus again at some point. I don't know how cheap it's going to have to be, like probably under 150
Yeah, like what?
bucks.
Yeah, because Princeton
But
chorus.
that was like the first big amp that I ever played on,
I
was a
gotcha.
Princeton chorus. Uh they're kind of like a JCM 22, or not sorry, Jazz Chorus
Yeah,
22, JC 22, sort of a deal. Um, so that's like, I just remember the cleans on it being super good, the reverb on it being pretty good, and the drive just sounding like shit. That's my
that
memory of it.
tracks. That tracks. I
So
mean, like a JC 120 isn't exactly expensive used right now.
yeah, but
So
that's like so much amp.
that is so much amp. It's dumb. Don't do it. I'm trying to find before we close out because I was looking. So I used to play a jazz chorus for keyboards. Um, and I would go directly into the stereo effects return. It
Interesting.
and so that bypasses all the volume, the preamp, everything because my
Yeah.
keyboard already had like voicings that it was already doing, right?
Right, right.
And so I just ran straight in there, used the volume on my keyboard. Actually, I used a volume pedal because I was playing uh like Hammond organ on it.
Hmm,
So I
hmm.
used a volume pedal, but it still kept the chorus because
Right.
all of that is after the effects return. And
Yeah.
so
Which is cool.
it was super cool. And so I kind of thought about having one around to do that again, but I did
Hmm.
not want the 120 again because it's just too much flipping
Yeah.
amp.
So
Um,
in that case, does that bypass the entire control section so you can only control the volume from your keyboard?
Only control the volume from your keyboard.
Yeah, very
It's
cool.
full blast from that point on. It's just go.
Yeah.
Um, but it might have sold because it was a dumb price. I can't find it again. But it was like a JC 77 for like $200.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, that would. Yeah, it seems like it is gone.
Yeah.
Look at S already on it. Tentative deal already made on that amp.
Nice.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hopefully that works out for you.
Yeah.
And I guess with that, I don't want to ask for more. Do we want to take one more question? We already said we were taking the last question, and then we take another. This is how it always goes,
Yeah,
right?
this is how we end up here an extra hour and a half after.
I always feel like when I watch on Fridays the Know Your Gear live stream, usually about like 15 minutes to 5. So Phil says yeah, so no more super chats. We're gonna wind this down, and inevitably there's always one more super chat, but
Yeah.
it's usually just a super chat where somebody's like, "Thanks for the great show," and they're not actually
Yeah, exactly.
asking a question, but
But then you still have to acknowledge it, right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
have to at least say something because they super chatted.
yeah.
So, um, yeah. Oh, damn it. Nope, there it is. I found it.
Oh, the jazz. Now you have to buy it.
No, because it's in Decatur, Georgia.
I don't know how that is that far.
Yeah,
That's
that's like
that's 2 states over, right?
yeah, that's 2 states over.
Yeah.
So yeah, Decatur, Georgia from Starkville, Mississippi is real far.
Does
But
it doesn't even have the same, hold on, go back. It doesn't even have the same returns. You can't do the thing you want to do. There's no effects loop.
oh, you're right. It doesn't have it. Oh, good. Saved me. I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
it. This is an
Yeah.
old one. This is a real old one. Anyway, um, super old. I love the JCs. I miss my 120. I probably should have kept it. Oh my gosh, Robert. Well, Ryan appreciates that super chat. 60 watt Steve.
Yeah, I heard about that. I missed it. My I used to just jump in Friday afternoons uh from jump into Phil's live streams and watch and hang out in the chat. And lately, I've just been one. I've been super busy at work. Two, they've locked down our. I don't even know how they do this. This is like some fancy IT thing. Um, but uh, they've been locking down our browser somehow, so that even though I'm logged into Google on, you know, my personal account at work, the IT can actually force my account into restricted mode. So
Oh,
I can't view live streams on my work computer. So I have to do it on my phone, which just makes it a lot trickier because then it's like I have to have my headphones in and all these other things. And my job's just been super busy for the last like 2 or 3 weeks.
sure.
So I kind of try to jump in when things start to wind down, like after 4:30, but it's not like the easiest thing
Yeah, I get
in the
it.
world.
I don't normally do it in general because I'll be honest, I work kind of late on Fridays usually. We close
Yeah.
at 4,
Oh, okay.
which is a little before. That's an hour before the live stream starts, but um, it's just it works out weird for me because I end
Hmm.
up working late and then I'm driving home and I never think to log in because I'm ending my day. I'm
Yeah.
like chilling out, but like the last few weeks I've been hopping in and saying hi and whatnot. It's a fun time. If super chats become a normal thing on this live stream though, we're gonna have to start invoicing Ryan.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
100%.
So, because just for the record, all the all the live stream the super chats on 60 Cycle Home go to Ryan, not to me and Steve. So,
Yeah, we'll have to
oh,
figure
we'll
that
hit
out.
him with that invoice.
Supers, let's see. But
I'm
yeah, thanks everyone. Um and I think that's it. Yeah,
yeah
what Tom's saying, it is a group policy on I think both Chrome and I actually haven't tried it on Edge. I've just stopped using Chrome at work because I've been using Chrome for like YouTube Music and Edge, but I think my computer. So I have like a 6-year-old computer at work, and it's
uh,
starting to hit the wall. So I need to drop down to single browser. But yeah, it's I think it's group policy. Um,
yeah. Edge is
it's just interesting because it all like disappeared. Um,
I think
so
Edge, the controversial take as we're heading out of here. I think Edge is better than Chrome now.
it that's what I was told by somebody who works at Microsoft.
Yeah, Edge is better than Chrome now.
So
Chrome is just so bloated and awful um,
yeah,
that I don't know. Get
I
off of
mean,
Chrome, y'all.
Edge is Chrome. That's just like conceptually, Edge is already Chrome.
Yeah,
It's just being stripped down to actually like work more smoothly with Windows.
yeah. I think that's it. All right, y'all. I think that's we're diving into browser talk, which means it is time for us to get out of
Yeah.
here. Y'all have a great one. We will stream again at some point.
Yep. Link below. Go get that. Go sign
Go
up
get a
for this
110
thing.
bees. I gave away one a while back. It's a great
Yep.
pedal. All right, bye y'all.
Stay grounded.